Welcome to Classworks Integrated Reading Overview. So, what is integrated reading and how can it help me as a teacher, you ask? Well, integrated reading is an entire platform of level folders, if you will, of complex text by grade level that helps students build the capacity and endurance they need for grade level appropriate text, offering flexibility for you to move them up or down to meet their individual student needs. It is also structured around 36 passages per grade level, with text-dependent questions built in at the end of each passage that are also automatically graded for you, making our jobs as teachers much easier. Now, to add even more backbone to this platform, we've designed a standards document that provides a question-by-question breakdown of the standards addressed inside the passage. So to give you an idea of that, what you can do here is break down the by grade level, right, of the standards within each question. If I select third grade or level 3, what I then see is question by question, the standard that's addressed within each one. Now, again, 36 passages per grade level, hence 36 weeks of school. We really designed the platform to be utilized one passage per week for you to really cover all the standards per week with a passage, right? So now, what I also want to show you here is every passage also has an open-ended constructive response opportunity at the very end. This also allows and affords an opportunity for students to use their keyboard skills and practice those if that's something you decide to do. Now, every sixth passage here is a paired passage from the previous two passages. So if you did passage 4, here we see 3-4, my friend Mabel, you see the questions aligned for that week. And then week 5, you see a big day for Nolan. Well, when you get to week 6, then you have those two passages being compared and contrasted through questions, right? Now, what I want to show you here is, as a teacher, I select a grade level. Third grade, I have 36 passages. I decide to pick a passage. I have a hyperlink. And then what I get is my friend Mabel. Now, notice here that I also have the opportunity to use the printable PDF. That printable PDF can be utilized as a handout for all of my students if I decide to drive the instruction in front of the class on my interactive board, or if I do a webinar, Zoom, Google Meets, just like I'm doing here. We also have the fluency passages if I'm trying to track students on the same passage over the course of a year for reading fluency. And then I also have my teacher resources page. It is almost the same thing as the student usage page, but it gives the distractor rationales. So we see here, you have the passage, you have sources here. You see the distractor rationales built in here. And this helps me as a teacher have more in-depth conversation if I see that 12 out of 17 students say missed number 1 and selected D. This gives me more insight and some corrective maintenance that I could do, at least being able to know where they're coming from or what their train of thought might have been. Now, as a student, once this has been assigned to me through the platform, what I do is I log in and it says, welcome Degs. I'm greeted as a student. I go to my instruction. I pick a class down here at the bottom for remote learning. And then in my remote learning, I pick my daily reading with questions. And my teacher has assigned me 5 passages for this week. I select street signs, the activity, and I click start. Here I have a dictionary that I can just click on a word like sidewalk. I have the pronunciation. I can actually highlight stuff here on the sidewalk. The teacher's been telling us pink for prepositional phrases we've been working on in language arts, but we're also doing reading. I can pin a note to the title here as to the main idea of this passage is, and I can then type out what I want to type out. I like to pick purple and close it out because now I have it in the top left of my corner here, and I can get back on it if I'd like and say, now the main idea of this passage is how street signs keep us safe and provide direction and guidance. Now, once I close that out, I can come down. I also have audio support, and I will put this audio support up against anyone out there. We didn't spare 1 cent when it came to the audio support here, and I want you to hear it. All you do is activate it, click on a paragraph.
You are walking on the sidewalk. You want to cross the street. How do you know where to cross safely? Look around. Do you see a yellow sign? The shape is a diamond. The sign has a picture of a person walking. This sign tells you where you can cross the street safely.
So now I want to highlight sign tells you. Sign tells you. So that's what it tells us. Now, as a student, once I've marked this up, I can now go to my questions. I can see where I highlighted. I still have my notes available. And now I can answer my questions. Now, here's a plus if you got your teacher hat on. Many teachers love this piece here. Instead of just this student picking A, this student also has been given instruction and taught how to pin a note. This article is mainly about signs that keep us safe, right? So I'm going to pin a note here, and I'm going to use, quote, signs tell us, paragraph 1. And so now it's right here for my teacher to see. As I go through the next questions, I'm pinning notes to all of my questions. And I'm just clicking A here for you to see. You could pin notes. As I get to the last question, you will see that I have a constructive response. I type it out. My answer here. Provide details with an S, meaning I need more than one, right? And then I submit. And so as a student, I am now closed. But as a teacher, when I come over to inside Classworks, I can go to my class where this is actually assigned. And I'm going to see my student results. So under my class, I go down. Here we are. Remote learning is my class right now. Daily reading. I see this student here. Deggs Graham has completed one. I open it up and I see he made a 50. 3 minutes, 49 seconds. But I also have this feature. I can grade or I can review. If I review Deggs Graham and I see question 1, I see he got it correct. And I see his notes. I see his highlights and so forth. So, if this is of interest to you and you'd like to know more, we would love to help you utilize this, whether it's in your brick and mortar building when school returns or during summer school extension time or even right now for digital remote learning. Reach out to us, the blue chat feature when you're logged into Classworks, or you can email us at hello@classworks.com. Again, that's hello@classworks.com. Thank you so much and happy teaching.